Yo guys, what's going on? This is Yokiman here, and it is the end of our PSV era. It is the end of this Project PSV save. This has been the final season. So without further ado, let's just take a look and see what happened in this last year. And also the reason for why we're stopping this save is nothing to do with my enjoyment on it. There just comes a certain point over on Twitch where the save just isn't fun anymore for the viewer, especially when you hit a stage like we've hit this year, as you'll see when we go through it. There is no point realistically just continuing this year in, year out. Doesn't make sense. So it was time to start the main save. If you are not following me on Twitch, the link is down below to catch all the FM stuff live, as well as various other games. Also, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. And if you enjoyed this series and you want me to keep updating what's going on the stream over here on YouTube, let me know. Give me that feedback. Let's get into it. Not fully sure what the hand movement was there. Don't understand why I did it, but I did it. So we're here now. We're at the end of our fourth season here with PSV. As you can see instantly, right there in the top, we finished first. We finished first. It's been another fantastic season here at the club, but there has been some issues again. We won the Dutch Super Cup, which we just seem to always do. We're Dutch Super Cup winners. We're notorious for doing that, and something I'm very good at. But the Dutch Cup, however, we have won it. But since we won it, we notoriously get knocked out by minnows. And once again, we were runners-up this time out against... it was a really weird run-in on the Dutch Cup. It just did go weirdly. Like, we had really easy games the entire Dutch Cup for the first time, and we couldn't win it. It was just really strange what was going on with the squad. It's as if they didn't enjoy playing in this competition. I mean, to be fair to the boys, we only had one home game, which was a little bit frustrating. We didn't play it away 4 times, because neutral is still away from our home ground. And we ended up losing to William II, who have improved over the seasons. One of the most improved sides, I would have said, in the Eredivisie, but still. And we made hard work of it. We beat Sparta 4-0, and then we struggled past NEC, struggled past Vitesse needing penalties, and struggled past Fortuna Sittard as well, needing a penalty to save us in that one in the semi-final. So this wasn't to be us, and I just think maybe the young aspect of the team, the inconsistency, the ability to get up for those really big cup knockout competition kind of games let us down. And maybe in hindsight, I should have built the squad with a bit more consistency, but we went for that youthful just enthusiasm. And sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. And there's no clearer sign of that for me than in the Champions League, where we managed to beat Barcelona 3-0 in what was a famous victory. My man and the legend, Mr. Peglo, getting himself 2 goals to Xerxes. Xerxes had a good standout year for me, to be honest with you. I'm actually very happy with this season from him. At points in this season, we debated getting rid of him because it was kind of like, we've got good young players in that position. We can move on. He's not quick. He doesn't necessarily fit the system of playing a complete forward who's going to collect the ball and then move it on to the advanced forward, which, although Xerxes played that role, scored a lot of goals in that position, he's not the quickest there, but he's done really well. 23 goals in 27 starts, 4 assists, and yeah, just a great season for him. And a player you guys probably know already, you should be signing this guy if you get the opportunity. If I remember correctly, we didn't pay much for him, 18 million. In hindsight, for what he's given back, 18 million isn't a lot. And at the ripe old age of 22, he's only valued at 25 million, but you know full well we'd get more than that. And he's already now in season 3 for us, since paying that 18 million, really starting to repay that with his 23 goal tally this season. But nonetheless, we managed to actually get through the group this time round. It was pretty crazy. We lost to Dortmund and Marseille and Monaco straight after that great game against Barcelona. I had this feeling after Barcelona, I'm like, oh, are we good this year? Are we good in the Champions League this year? And then crashed down to earth after having a 3-2 against Borussia Dortmund, where they scored late on. But then we went on to beat Monaco and Dortmund as well. So we beat each of the teams and lost to each of the teams as well. Barca getting their revenge on us a little bit. But I mean, the key factor there is that we did make it to the knockout rounds. Now, I probably would have preferred the Europa League. Probably would have been easier. And in the knockout rounds, it didn't go as we would have potentially liked it to have gone. As Timo Werner scores for us against Milan in the first leg, and I'm thinking 1-1, we take that away, we pick up 1 goal, we go through. It's not a bad result at home. We played really well in the home game. the away leg did not go well. Now, what I want to put into perspective, at this time, we could have drawn far easier sides. Milan were top of Serie A, in fact, won Serie A, smashed it. 89 points. Inter second, 76 points. And their team is just ridiculous. Their team is fantastic. It abuses the system. They're extremely quick. And I hate them. I hate them. And they beat me. They beat me 5-0. And that's where we kind of came crashing down to earth. That the team that we'd built was good enough for Dutch football. It was ever improving. It was full of good youngsters. But when it came to the main stage, when it came against big sides, we weren't going to be able to do it. And there was a sad realisation when we realised that. A tear was definitely shed on stream, but it's one of those things. You're going to find that when you're managing these leagues that have subpar in terms of mid-tier teams, and you can dominate in them to some degree, and then you go to the big stage, the Champions League, you're going to struggle. You're going to have some problems, and you're going to find where your level's at. And this season was better than last year, which is an improvement, which is what you always want to be doing. But in reality, we should have done better. But Milan, they were unbelievable on the day. I hate you, Milan. So on to what is probably the main reason why the save has to stop, which is a massive shame. But I mean, we won the league this season with 93 points. We only lost once. Drew 3 times and we won 30 games. Nobody came close to us when it comes to games won, which is why you can see our points tally is so unbelievably good. I mean, the closest team to us is on 21, so we won 9 more games than the team behind us. That's always going to be a scenario that you find that you've hit your peak. And in this league, we were far too good for it. Far too good for it. We scored 98 goals in the league this season. I'll show you the tactic we used to achieve it. So although this chopped and changed between a 4-4-2 and what you've got right here, this is what we played this year. If you don't remember, we did sign ourselves Mr. Timo Werner. We resurrected his career, basically. He was having a terrible time at Chelsea last season. Started 3 games, off the bench 4 times, scored a goal. 25 for us this season. 25 in 39 starts. He got 13 assists as well, though. It was very good. It just worked for him. I knew it would do, but I was always sceptical because, you know, sometimes when you sign like brilliant players and they're just really, really not good at the footballs, that happens way too much. But this guy was very good for us. So in the tactic, he started with him over here as an inside forward, and then I realised he had run wide with the ball as a trait down the left. So I thought, well, I can't play him on the left because I want him to cut in, and he wasn't cutting in enough. Moved into the right, started scoring loads of goals. It did chop and change. When we look at tactics that I do, I'm a chop and changer. So I will mess around with stuff during matches, before a match, depending who I'm playing. I'll make lots of changes. That's not particularly a way you should play, but I mean, look at how familiar we kind of are with the tactic. The boys know this style. They've been here for a while now. Quite a lot of the players. As you can see, there's a couple of new players in the system. I believe Binks was new. You won't have seen him. Brilliant, just slow. Never used him before, but brilliant. Just don't expect him to be able to run back quickly. So if they've got fast players, keep him deep. Maybe put him on cover. Just keep him as deep as you can. Do not be reliant. Sorry, don't put him on cover. Maybe put him on stopper. And then don't put him on stopper. He's not that good at tackling. Maybe you just let him stand there. He scores a few from corners as well. Do you know what? He was good. Minus the 10 pace. He was good. We signed Benkovic as well. Now, that was a sign of just what we needed to do in the back line, where I felt we had a few problems. And the few problems probably does rise from the fact that we sold Badiashile. I'm a fan. I love him. He was brilliant for us. But I always said in this save, I wanted to treat it as realistically as possible. Man United came in with 40 plus million. There's just no way I could turn that down being PSV. And although he was an absolute beast, especially physically, and had a wonderful career at PSV, probably made him to be the star that he is now, it was his time. It was his time. On the plus side, though, we did make an absolute killing off of Minamino, who I pinpointed in the last episode. He just wasn't very good. He kept running with the ball and not going past anyone. So in hindsight, we did what we like to do on this save. I'm the profit maker. I do this a lot. I'm Mr. Profit Man. It's a thing, okay? 46 million is what we spent. We brought in 105. Is theme, profit. We like to make a profit. We signed Lewis Binks, who, let's be honest, will probably end up going for big money. Signed Carlos. Carlos. This is one of the reasons I'm sad for this save, because I know in 5 years, a lot of the players that are in this team we'd be world class, boys. World class. Wonder Kid, think the first Wonder Kid we've actually signed, and he scored a screamer. He's only scored 1 goal, but it was an absolute screamer. It was beautiful. We signed Vladisir, just a youngster. Quires, youngster. Chirnos, youngster. So Filip Benkovic and Binks were the only 2 Real players we signed, and obviously Timo Werner at the end of last season. Some reason it doesn't put it on this one. So I mean, the tactic just worked. We still had Abraham as well. We still had all our old fantastic players. And Lars put us, Mr. Surprise. We used him. There's a mini golf joke on my channel on Twitch, and last name put us. So we used him. It turns out Lars is pretty good at the footballs. 7.13 average rating over several games. I don't know. I don't know why he's good. His name's great. I don't know why he's good, but he is. And he scores long shots. He's got 9, but he scores long shots. But anyway, so when we look at the tactic just worked very well. The idea with this really was just Timo and the right back, which would be Denzel or our young Argentine Lucio Uquaya. Nailed it. So that would be the interchange that we had there. So, I mean, that was the idea behind it. Timo to sit down. Basically, was playing free up top. When we was in possession, Timo was coming into here. But the idea was going to be that this area is probably where we overload a little bit more with Peglo coming deep. We've got our players here, which was going to leave Timo a lot of space. It did, as you saw as many goals as Timo scored. It did leave him a lot of space. And we reaped the rewards from trying to play this formation. I've never played this style before. I always play quite rigid. I'd never do something where I play a player here, not a logical position without having someone there or him being here. So it was a little bit out of the box for me, but we had the idea and it worked. And I can't complain. It worked. I do feel pretty happy that we are leaving at the end of our job here rich, with 126 million in the bank and 85 million in the transfer kitty. And I never spent big money. We achieved what we achieved without spending big money. And that's what made this save so fun for me, is we built the squad that we built without spending too much money. We signed players on shrewd deals. Yes, we went a bit young, which probably hurt us at times when it comes to Champions League and so on and so forth. But I'm really proud of what we managed to achieve here. I'm proud of the squad we managed to build. And I'm sure if we'd have got another season, I'd have made a boatload more profit, because a lot of these players are wanted, heavily wanted. We'd have made a boatload more profit, and I'd have signed some more great young talent and the odd experienced player to go hand in hand. But that's it, guys. I don't want to ramble on too much. We've got no plans for the new season because there isn't one. But we have started a new save over on Twitch, so feel free to come and follow and join in. There will be a new FM save starting soon. I don't know why I'm pointing over here, but it doesn't matter where I point, because I know I'm not going to show anything on the screen, but there will be a new FM save starting soon. I'm looking forward to getting down and dirty with her. And that was terrible, but I'm looking forward to getting down and dirty with her, that's the save. That's the name of the new save. It will be starting next week. I'm not going to reveal what it is. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled. Follow the channel. Ding dong that bell. Notifications. They pop up. You go, oh, Yorkie Man's got another video. I'm going to watch this. And it does good for me. Does good for me. And my ego, which does need patting every now and again. Doesn't need platting. Needs patting. I'll see you later, guys. I appreciate the support on this series. I appreciate the support on the channel. And I'll catch you in the new series or any of the other videos that we do. And if I decide to update the new stream save, which I'm 50-50 on. I don't know if these update videos are well received or not. I probably should look at some analytics, but yeah, I've rambled on enough. See you later.